Sara Bailey Rodriguez, our ELF speaker, was sponsored by Chapter DV in Ahwatukee. The Educational Loan Fund has helped her to pursue her dream of getting her master's in accounting. Sara has been a PEO for 16 years and is currently a member of Chapter DK Tempe. She is very active in PEO, holding the offices of Chapter Recording Secretary and President more than once. When she is not studying for her master's in accounting or working long hours at Insight as a manager of accounting and financial reporting, Sara enjoys traveling and hiking and making quilts for close friends. Get to know Sara. You might recognize Sara if you saw an episode of HGTV's House Hunters, filmed in East Mesa a few years ago when she and her husband Pablo were looking for their forever home. I am pleased to introduce Sara Rodriguez, our ELF project speaker.
Hi, I'm Sara Bailey Rodriguez from Mesa, Arizona. I would first like to start off with a big thank you to Chapter DB for sponsoring me and Chapter DK for supporting me in my educational endeavors. Currently, I'm working on my Master's of Accountancy with the help of a generous ELF loan from PEO. Let me tell you a little bit about myself. I grew up in a small farming community in Iowa. My small town of only 1,000 people allowed me to try my hand at all kinds of leadership activities, including 4-H, FFA, and cheerleading. My family instilled in me the value of education, both formal and informal. This has propelled me throughout my life. When I was in junior high, my dad made the decision to run for Iowa Secretary of Agriculture. On the road campaigning with my dad for state office was exciting and eye-opening for me. This was my first exposure to public service at a level that I could easily understand. During high school, I got bit by the accounting bug. Mrs. Johnson, my high school accounting teacher, first showed me the great green and white columns to keep all the debits and credits in line. Right, Alex? A little accounting humor. The power of financial analysis and the thrill of crunching numbers made sense to me. During my senior year, I was privileged to work as a page at the Iowa Senate. The application and interview process was my first real-world look at an interview and the job market. During my time in the beautiful state capitol, I seriously considered a career in public service, but I'll get back to that in a minute. Interwoven through the lives of most of the women in my family is PEO. In 1996, I was initiated into Iowa PEO Chapter EZ, joining my mom, aunt, sister, and cousin. Because we lived in such a close-knit community, my favorite third grade teacher, Mrs. Cullen, was the hostess for the meeting and made my initiation very special. The only thing I knew about PEO before my initiation was in relation to my mom getting ready to hostess a PEO meeting at our house. I learned real quick that Dad and I always got the corners of the desserts because you don't serve PEO ladies corners. In 1996, I started college at Iowa State University in hopes of earning my accounting degree. Since I knew for sure that I wanted to be an accountant, a very black and white profession, I also wanted something in more of a shade of gray. I chose political science. In May 2000, I graduated with my bachelor's in accounting with a minor in political science. Once again, throughout college, there was PEO. My cousin and I were grateful to find the collegiate PEO group at Iowa State, where most of the members had only attended a handful of their initiating chapter meetings. So we all got to learn the business of being a member in a very comfortable setting with others in the same situation. After graduation, I landed a job with the State of Iowa Auditor's Office, checking the books of all levels of Iowa government. My office was right back in the state capitol building where I had served as an Iowa page. My job in the auditor's office was a great melding of accounting and political science. Being a staff auditor was interesting, and I learned quite a bit about the profession and the state, but I was ready for something different. Although I love my hometown and my home state of Iowa, during the winter of 2000, there were 90 consecutive days of snow on the ground, and my car slid in the ditch twice. I needed a change. Over 4th of July weekend, 2001, I loaded my world into my car and drove to Arizona to start my new life in the desert. One great thing about the Sisterhood of PEO is the network across the country and around the world of a sister just down the road. When I moved to Arizona, my mom called Mary Beatty, who was listed in the PEO record as a reciprocity contact. Mary invited me to breakfast with the ladies of Chapter DV in Ahwatukee. It was a great welcome, and I immediately felt at home. After a few breakfasts together, the chapter invited me to transfer to their chapter from mine in Iowa. I was so grateful to have a group of wonderful ladies surrounding me and making me part of their family. Because of a move to East Mesa a few years ago, I found it more and more difficult to attend meetings and be active in Chapter DV. Chapter DK in Tempe has welcomed me with open arms, and I'm very happy I found a new PEO chapter to call home. About 5 years ago, I met an amazing man, and we were married 2 years ago this March. Pablo has given me great support in my educational endeavors. When I told him I was part of the PEO Sisterhood, he was very intrigued by a group of women able to help others take advantage of educational opportunities, even operating a college for women. He had gotten his MBA a few years back and knew the struggles and sacrifices of going to school while working full-time. About a year ago, due to changes in Arizona's requirements to receive a certificate in public accounting, a CPA, I decided to return to school for additional credit hours. After researching many different schools and programs, I chose Grand Canyon University's online Master's in Accountancy program. This flexible program allows me to continue my career and connects me with students from all over the United States. Their different backgrounds may make my learning experience even more valuable. In addition, the management of my company, Insight, has changed over the last year and has placed a much higher emphasis on the CPA certification. In order to continue my career path, I must get these additional hours and sit for the exam. With the immense help of the ELF loan, I have been able to get that ball rolling. It was the boost of support that gave me the feeling, I can do it. I have completed 5 of my 11 classes towards my program, so I'm nearly halfway there, and I'm happy to report that so far I have a 4.0 GPA and have learned so many great concepts to use in my career. Many of my career and life goals have been made possible with the help of generous women, my sisters, all over the United States and the world. I am happy and proud to be part of our wonderful PEO sisterhood. Thank you.